What do you do when you can't see the light in the world? Or, as I put it, what can you do when you can't see the silver lining moments around us? Today was supposed to be the launch of Silver Lining Moment Shorts. This is an idea I came up with last year, where once a week I share a short silver lining moment in audio and video. Each one is going to be about 5 minutes or less. Just a short little reminder of the goodness out there, like something just to, just a quick jolt of lightness, and goodness for you. Had this idea a year ago. The last 6 months or so, it's been crystallizing, rolling around in my head as I'm trying to figure out the flow of how I would create them, how and when I would publish them, edit them, fine-tune them, what they would be about, what the process would be. I was working on some other things, so they got to the back burner and then the front burner, but then finally last month I decided this is it. I am ready and I want to start these Silver Lining Moment Shorts, just as a way to add some lightness to the world. And I decided that today, July 6th, 2022, was going to be launch day. After a year of thinking, dreaming, visualizing these Silver Lining Moment Shorts, when it comes time for it to finally be launched, I feel low in energy and I feel deflated. A few nights ago, I was feeling heavy. I just looked to my husband. I said, I feel like the fabrics of society are unraveling and the world is falling apart. Is anyone else out there feeling that? And here I am, the queen of finding the positive side of things. All right, self-proclaimed queen of finding the positive side of things. It's the backbone of my book/guided journal memoir, Silver Lining Moments of Practice of Gratitude and Resilience. It's all about that. All about the belief that no matter what, there is always, always light in darkness. There is, in fact, that the darkness is small and the light is always there behind it, supporting us. There is always a silver lining moment. Yet, today as I launch this, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to see the silver lining with the shootings in Uvalde, Texas, with the shooting in Highland Park, Illinois, with the shooting of Jalen Walker in Akron, Ohio, with the continued war in Ukraine, with the imprisonment of Brittany Griner in Russia, with the earthquake in Afghanistan just last week, killing over 1,000 people. Don't even get me started about all the suffering and chaos from the US withdrawal last year, and Afghanistan girls being banned from going to school, and however other suffering around that. I'm having a hard time seeing a silver lining in migrants dying in the back of a truck in Texas. In the recent US Supreme Court decisions, whether you are praising them or you're crying because of them, wherever you are on that, I'm having struggle seeing a silver lining in the US Supreme Court being more political, creating uncertainty, division, and creating lack of trust in our judicial system. And I'm having a hard time seeing a silver lining in the ever-present climate crisis that's all around us every day. And it seems like it's still not being given the attention and the action that's needed for humanity to survive. Seems like every few weeks, another tragedy befalls us. How? How can there be a silver lining moment in any of these? And when I look for a silver lining moment in any of these, when I look for a silver lining moment in suffering, am I making light of what those most affected are going through? Am I making light of their suffering? Different people may have different answers to this. For me, I think it's two parts. First, no, I hope not. I hope that by finding silver lining moments, we are not making light of any of the suffering. In fact, I don't even think a true silver lining moment can be seen, can be felt, can be appreciated unless and until we fully feel, fully acknowledge, fully appreciate, and respect the suffering that others may be feeling. Until we appreciate and acknowledge the harm, the tragedy. Finding a silver lining moment is not putting a blind eye to any of these. It's saying we see them, we acknowledge them, okay? Now let's pick up when we're ready. And so maybe that's why I'm having a hard time seeing a silver lining moment in these situations. But I do hope, and this is the second part to my answer to this question, I do hope that finding a silver lining moment in this tragedy, finding a silver lining moment in suffering, helps to lighten the load someone is carrying because of their suffering. I hope by sharing silver lining moments, it says you are not alone. It gives a reminder of the light and the goodness in others, in ourselves. And this gives us the ability to stand up, pick up, keep going, and feeling light and feeling lighter. So, playing a little on the words, no, I hope it does not. I hope finding a silver lining moment does not make light of someone's suffering. But yes, I hope that finding silver lining moments makes someone's suffering a lighter burden for them to be carrying, and one that they don't carry by themselves. So, I kind of think of it this way. Imagine you're in a dark tunnel and there's no light. And you have to get from one side to the other side, and it's pitch dark. Walking through that tunnel in the pitch darkness, it's going to be a heck of a hard time, right? It's going to be hard. You might trip, you might stumble, you might fall. Those are all three ways of saying the same thing, but if you're anything like me, you would probably trip, fall, and stumble more than once in the darkness. But imagine someone comes with a flashlight, and now they're walking with you while they're holding a flashlight. Getting through that dark tunnel is now manageable. That is what I hope silver lining moments and silver lining moment shorts are, is a little flashlight for people. A flashlight in a moment of time that helps you get through whatever dark tunnel you're experiencing. But I go back to how I started this. I'm feeling a little low and deflated with things going around. So the thing that I can think of to do when I'm this is, one, being honest and acknowledge this is what I'm feeling. I don't want it to delay Silver Lining Moments Shorts launch day. And I think the only thing I can do is stick with the practice and trust in it, trust in the process, even when I'm not feeling it. So, first thing is acknowledge. How do I find the silver lining moment in any of the things that are going on in the world? To the families in Uvalde, Texas, I see you. To the families in Highland Park, Illinois, I see you. To the families of Jalen Walker, I see you. To Brittany Griner and her family, I see you. You are not forgotten, locked away in a Russian jail somewhere. I see you. To the families suffering from war, to the families in Ukraine and around the world, I see you. To the families suffering financial hardship, I see you. To the families suffering uncertainty, fear, stress, I see you. And when it comes down to it, we are all family. I see you. And I feel your heaviness and your sadness. I would like to be a flashlight in your dark tunnel of sadness and suffering. Right now, finding a silver lining moment, feeling this way. Even me, the master of silver lining moments, can be hard. Yet, even when the silver lining moment is hard to see, I know it is there. I'm saying this for me just as much as I'm saying it for you. It may be some time before we see it, before we see that there is light around us, even right now. And I suspect that many of the silver lining moments of today are in the individuals doing acts of kindness and acts of love for others. If you're listening to this and you see a silver lining moment in the world around you, please, please share it with me. You can share it on my website, www.silverliningmoments.com, or email me at carrie@silverliningmoments.com. And today, as I was preparing for this, I was stuck. I think you guys kind of get the idea. I was stuck. And instead of writing, I just doodled. I'll share this doodling on my Silver Lining Moments Facebook page. You'll see it's pretty dark. It's pretty frazzled. It's basically just a scramble of all the horror and bad things in the world. And this is when I was brainstorming for a silver lining moment for today. That's what came up. But I had to feel this before I could let it go. I had to let it go before I could see a silver lining moment. So I will continue on and I will follow up with these silver lining moment shorts from my own life. With each one, I hope to give you a moment of lightness. The first one I am doing is about a stray dog named Bijou. Just thinking about her now brings a smile to my face. I don't know if you can see it. She's just a sweet dog, a sweet stray dog that I had the privilege of sharing space with for a little bit. And my heaviness is a little lighter. We'll see how I feel after I actually share the story in an actual silver lining moment short that is actually less than 5 minutes. And I will continue focusing on people who are adding light to the world in Silver Lining Moments podcast. And as I was writing this, if you noticed, I've been reading this. I normally try not to read, but the seriousness and the heaviness of this, I felt like I needed to write it out. And so if you're watching the video of this, you probably see me reading it a little bit. when I started writing this, I still couldn't see a silver lining moment from the past weeks, right? Bijou's from an experience from over a year ago, but a silver lining moment from the past few weeks because all the heaviness around us. But when I got down to the end and I was writing about how I hope a silver lining moment makes someone smile or laugh, and in that smile and laughter, we just get lighter. And somehow that reminded me of when there are tears, there can also be laughter, right? And so that reminded me of a quote that I saw in a tuk-tuk in Colombo, Sri Lanka, way back in 2016. And that quote is, "The soul would have no rainbow if the eyes had no tears." And there's something about rainbows. They just, I look at a rainbow, I just get filled with lightness. And has anyone noticed that a lot of people have been posting photos of rainbows on social media? On my social media feeds in the past week, I've had at least 5 or more people posting beautiful pictures of rainbows from all over the world. And to me, when I see a rainbow, it's like that flashlight it's like that flashlight in the dark tunnel. It's a flashlight in the dark tunnel of the shootings, of all the crises we're facing, of war, of division, of unrest. With each rainbow, I think there is a message. Each rainbow is a message that we will be okay. Things will get better. We are loved. That's what I place on rainbows. That's what I think when I see them. And now I just realize at a time that I've been feeling heavy and sad and just with the world. In that time space, I have had several rainbow postings on my social media feed. At a time when I needed to hear that message that things will be okay. The thing that represents that to me, a rainbow, has been shown on my feed, on my social media feeds, day after day after day for the past week. So I guess I'm going to end this with that. There's my silver lining moment of the past week. The rainbows that people are posting on Facebook and on Instagram. To my friends, if any of them are listening to this and you posted such a rainbow, thank you. I don't know if you knew or could fully anticipate that your one photograph or your several photographs of rainbows could make a positive impact on someone. They did on me, and I'm sharing it with you right now. So thank you. And that is the end of this introduction for Silver Lining Moment Shorts. This is Carrie Raleigh of Silver Lining Moments, and we're going to keep going at it, expanding love and light, one person at a time, one story at a time, one silver lining moment at a time. And I promise the actual silver lining moment shorts will be less than 5 minutes. All right. See you guys around.